Hello, everyone. It's Val Evans, and this is a special edition of Royal Revelations. Thanks for joining me today. We're looking at the birth chart of Princess Athena, the daughter of Princess Beatrice, and it's Eduardo Mazzi. So, this is the second child for Princess Beatrice. So, the youngest of the two. So, we're going to look at the birth chart. We're going to look at a couple of charts. We're going to see where Princess Athena lands in the English chart, the chart of England, and a whole bunch of other revelations. This is going to be a kind of a short show because we're going to do the full show for the members tomorrow. But I thought I would go over some key points and also show you how to read a birth chart in a very simple way. It's super, super easy. It's a lot easier than you think. So nice to see you, Dottie Fragati and Genevieve Mitchell. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So, isn't that a cute baby? I think that, in fact, I know that Princess Athena is probably going to have some bright red hair. So, I picked a stock photo of a baby with red hair, of course, with a big crown. She is going to be a special, special little baby. So, I'm going to get onto it with her birth chart. And this is Princess Athena's birth chart. So her ascendant, which is really the chart ruler, and that's going to be Mercury, the chart ruler. We're going to look for that. Of course, she's Italian. So that would mean that the ascendant is going to be in usually Gemini or aspects Gemini. Gemini represents the Italians and represents speaking, also talking with your hands, and being a very good communicator. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at where Mercury is, and there's Mercury there. Mercury is in the 8th house. It's in Capricorn. So let me just take this back here. Hold on. And it's right here. The chart ruler in the 8th house is super interesting because it is the secrets. It's the Scorpio house. It is someone who has a deep interest in certain topics, that being in Capricorn. Maybe the secrets of the government, knowing how things really work when it comes to government buildings, old buildings. And she has a lot in common with her great grandmother, because Queen Elizabeth also had a lot of Scorpio when it came to, she had Saturn in Scorpio. So this was a responsibility with real estate, with buildings, with old buildings that she lorded over. And so this, to some extent, what kind of responsibility, I don't know yet. But there's that 8th house also. Now, Mercury also represents what you think about. And with Capricorn, it can mean thinking about the past, being interested in the past, being interested in things like classics. So that could be part of it. So the easy way to look at a birth chart when you're looking at a child is you're going, hey, toy, nice to see you. You're going to be looking at Mercury for when a person is between 0 and probably about 4 or 5. Very small, in other words. And so this is going to be Princess Athena's reality right now. And it's very interesting because there's some good things about it, but there's also a big challenge too. And Mercury is in a T square with somebody from the family, as well as 11th house with the Chiron there. Now remember, she was born as a preemie. So there's a possibility she's having to do some healing because she was born early. So possibility that she may need some care from the young formative years. It can't be easy. But the good news is that there's a nice trine from Mercury representing Princess Athena, and it's trining Uranus. Uranus is a very, very fast thinker. This is someone who is bright, almost brilliant. And in the 12th house, has some very fast way of thinking from a subconscious. Maybe she doesn't even know where it's coming from. It's just appearing. All of these visions of the future appear, might even appear when she's sleeping because the 12th house is to sleep. Now, with Uranus sextiling Mars, this is another helper that's coming in here. This could be maybe in the next couple of years she might have another, or she might have another sister. She might be because the third house is a younger sister, so that could possibly be coming in. And let's see here. Yeah, the third house is also short trips. She might be doing a lot of waving and a lot of kind of fun things that are local, which is the third house. Traveling a lot and being seen in cars seems to be something that she's going to be doing as well. Also, flying around. Uranus is travel, it's air travel. So it's quite an interesting little combination there for her early years. Eighth house is secrets. And it's possible that you won't see too much of her because of this T square. And it just seems like there's somebody from the family that it's hard to believe that somebody would think something like this of a child, but it's sort of like not invited to to some of the holidays, possibly, which is just preposterous. But there it is. You got Black Moon Lilith in the fifth house, and that could show that somebody in the family could be jealous, could be not wanting you to appear in certain events. So that's a possibility. Okay, so the next thing that you would do is you look to Jupiter for between 5 years old and about a teenager, maybe 13, 14. And Jupiter's in retrograde, it's in the 12th house, but it trines the MC. So this looks like she's going to be really out there. She may be an introvert. She may not want to. She likes to be, at this age anyway, she would prefer to be out of maybe out of the attention, maybe. And so, but with the trine here to Aquarius, this is, it has to do with science. It has to do with being, maybe when she's out and about, she has these visions because Aquarius is the visionary. So she certainly has in both, I would say, when she's little, as well as when she is an adolescent, because of the Aquarius and the Uranus aspects. Again, super, super bright, quicker than most. And so that's really interesting. But there's a little problem here. And the 11th house represents the older sister. Now, this goes way back into mythology, where there was a little problem with sisters, and they were called Pallas and Athena. And both of them didn't get along very well. So I'm going to read a little bit about their story. Hello, Kay. Nice to see you. Ah, that might make sense. Jan, you said it said the royals often bear grudges to other family members. Okay, we are talking about Princess Athena, the brand new baby of Princess Beatrice. Hey, Taurus Moon Tarot, Amber is here. Yeah, maybe you can pull a card or two if you have your cards nearby. I forgot my cards. I knew you were going to be doing something. So you said, I'm listening, trying to upload my short video of my birth chart I made. 23-second video is struggling with me and hurting my brain. I know. Go to Astro Seek. Hello, Buckeye. Nice to see you. Yeah, you can see your whole life with your birth chart. Look at how Mercury is. Oh, I had my first few years. Oh, I had a really good life. Mercury in the fifth house in Pisces. I lived by the beach, and all I did was just play in the sand, and it was a simple, simple life. So really, really had fun. Now, once I was an adolescent, Jupiter was in a T square and it was in Capricorn, and we moved north and it snowed a lot and I had to leave my friends. So it definitely showed a big change from, when I was really little to, a little bit bigger, a bigger kid, but still a kid. So, yes. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm going to go over to Okay, so in Greek mythology, Pallas and Athena were childhood friends and war trained companions. In one version of the story, Pallas was the daughter of Triton, the sea god, and Athena was raised by Triton as a foster child. During a friendly sparring match, Athena gained the upper hand against Pallas. Zeus, who was watching, became concerned that his daughter would lose and distracted Pallas with his Aegis shield. Uh, Pallas was stunned. I know I'm like horribly mispronouncing all of this. Pallas was stunned and stood still, allowing Athena to accidentally impale her. Athena was devastated and created a wooden statue of Pallas called the Palladium as a memorial. Athena also wrapped the Aegis around the Palladium and placed it near Zeus. Athena took on the title Pallas as a tribute to her friend. So the story of Pallas and Athena inspired a yearly festival in Libya, and the story shows how fame and tragedy can be intertwined on Olympus. So a lot of themes, and somebody who pointed me to this was BD Salerno, who has a new book out on asteroids. So you have to check it out, and she focuses a little bit of this in her book. So we're going to take a look at her sister because I think that's pretty interesting. And Amber, I think I want to ask you about this little potential issue in Princess Athena's life. So that's right. That I remember they had that Greek connection. Athena, Greek name Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, was a Greek Danish prince. Yes. Genevieve, I have Capricorn in fourth, grew up on a farm, my dad's farm, which would be the fourth house. Yes. Hmm. And was the farm cold? Okay. Thank you, Amber. Well, let's look at this chart here. And you see Venus up at the top there. This is an older female. This is in the 11th house. So you could look at the 11th house in a couple of ways. You could look at it as your goals, your hopes and dreams, your friends, and your older sister. And so there is her older sister. I mean, have you ever seen such a packed house? Her older sister, Sienna, which I think would be a Pisces name, is going to play a huge, huge part in her life. But the good news is that we have some benefics in there. We have Venus, we have part of fortune. So can show that older sister is very successful. Can also show maybe her sister Sienna has blue eyes, might show a profile there. We are going to look to the 11th house Lord, which rules the 11th house, and that's Neptune. And gosh, so much water involved here. And remember that this family, they are very interested, at least Princess Beatrice is, with AI. So this could have something to do with, maybe being creative, maybe focusing on AI as maybe could be in a network of people focused in that industry. But now we're going to look at Mercury. Mercury rules her chart in general, and we're going to see whether they get along. So here is Princess Athena, and this is Princess Sienna right there. And I don't see any direct problems there between them. It almost seems like, now you could also look at the sun as Athena, and it seems like they generally get along. You can see that here. And really nice trine here to the south node. So I wonder, this being the ninth house, it almost shows that they work together to get some kind of maybe to promote something that they're doing. And it could have something to do with Aquarius, which is technology or visionary types of things. Both of them together, Princess Sienna and Princess Athena, are visionaries because of this little blue line here. They work together And it is just literally, it is beyond what anybody can even imagine. Now, there is one piece here, and Amber, I want to ask you about this. There is a square to Venus here, and it's with Saturn. So this could be an older woman. This could be a friend. This could be somebody that Princess Athena in her life is not necessarily going to be in agreement with. This could be in certain ways her older sister, because maybe her older sister just has different ideas. She might be negative on some of the things that Princess Athena wants to do. I don't, it's a good idea, but why don't we reel it in a little bit? So sometimes that can happen with Saturn. But I wonder if this person is her older sister, and if they are having some kind of trouble, which would be reflective of the myth about Pallas and Athena. So, Amber, what do you think? Oh my gosh, John. Thank you, John. So sweet of you to stop in. And Deborah, oh, you want to know, do you think King Charles will survive the year? I think it's touchy. I think there's at least going to be some news that's coming in. We were kind of predicting it was going to be February when we see some changes with regard to King Charles and his plans. But what's very interesting, I don't know if anybody caught this, but in the news, there's been some things planted there that King Charles and Queen Camilla, they are planning, a trip to the US in 2 years. So kind of getting that out that there's long-term planning going on and maybe trying to settle some people's fears. So I don't know, but this year is going to be most definitely a year of change for the royal family. Deborah, you said I read that Athena is the first royal of the beta generation, which will be significant for AI. Absolutely. Um, John, guess he might get replacement parts. That's possible. Now, Jan, you said Athena means from Athens. Sienna is Italian, meaning orange red. So, yes, you could see I wore my red today. So, but she's going to be a warrior. And so, Amber, we want to know what you think about the relationship between Princess Athena and Princess Sienna. Try to say that fast. Maybe they're going to have nicknames or something, but there seems to be some kind of, might be a communication where one of them thinks the other talks too slow. Sometimes that's when you have a square to Saturn. It's sort of like, okay, hurry up. What are you trying to say? Like sometimes it can be that way. And that's okay. You just have to find another way of communicating. You might do really well on email, or you might do really well if you have an assistant that you're talking to, and relationships are a little bit better. So, Taurus Moon Tarot, Amber. I pulled the Queen of Cups, Cancer, an older woman with Four of Cups, dissatisfied something. Also, an Isis oracle word for initiation, a bit like a Fool card, a starter or entrepreneur. You could totally see she's an entrepreneur. So, the Queen of Cups it would seem that she's not too thrilled with this person that will come in her life. The 11th house, also keep in mind, it's an Aquarius house. So that means your future. What is going to happen in the future? Big Pisces house. So yes, AI, but also keep in mind, it's nursing. It's doctors, it's healthcare, it's helping others, it's healing. It can also be psychic and very intuitive. This is somebody who absolutely loves the coast, wants to be on the coast, likes old coastal places, and wants to be there with her friends. This is also a lot of foreign friends too. I wonder if she makes some friends in Spain with her aunt who lives there. The 11th house is your friends. And when you have a house that's packed, it's usually there's a lot of those people there, which could be a lot of friends. So she might have a lot of Spanish friends or a lot of friends from another place, but definitely foreign. So that's coming in there. Okay. So interesting. Yes, Athena Elizabeth Rose. Okay. So yeah, that's the square I see. We can also look and see what's on her mind too. The third house is generally what's on your mind. And the third house is in Cancer. So, again, this is Princess Athena. We're looking at the birth chart. And look how Mars is on the third house cusp of talking. So, there's a possibility. Let's see. Mercury, oh boy. Mercury opposed Mars. Looks like she's going to be a loud talker. If you want something communicated, go to Princess Athena. She will make sure it's articulated. Everyone knows what need is needed and what she needs. And wow, that's going to be interesting. She's going to be a princess with, I don't want to say loud princess, but a one who has a commanding voice. How about that? That's crazy. Yeah, when you want to see if somebody has a loud voice, you just go to Mercury, and if there's a square or an opposition to Mars, or sometimes Mercury will be in Aries, then you're going to have a loud voice, which I would love to have, because everybody in my whole life has said that I have too soft of a voice. And of course, my Mercury is in Pisces, so that's sort of the softer sounding. It's like a whisper. When you want to go to sleep, you listen to a Mercury in Pisces. So that's pretty interesting. That's going to be one of her profiles, is that she has a commanding voice. She's going to be a commander, no doubt. And when you have Gemini on your ascendant, that means you are going to be a twin. Oh, yes. So it's either going to be Sienna that she's twinning with, could be her mom. She looks exactly like her mom, or maybe her dad, or she looks exactly like the third sister that might come in. I'm sure Princess Beatrice does not want to think about that right now, but definitely looks like there could be another sister, or another sibling, let's say. So with the moon is what she's thinking about, and the moon is in Scorpio. So we moons in Scorpio, it can get dark. We we like true crime, and we're fascinated with murder. So this is squaring the sun here in the ninth house. Sometimes with a Scorpio square, it can show that you can potentially be betrayed sometimes throughout your life, more than the next guy. But it can also show there's jealousy, and of course that's going to be absolutely par for the course when you're a royal. A lot of people are going to be jealous. Sometimes with the sixth house with a normal person's chart, it's going to be your coworkers, but it can also mean servants. So she has to just be careful who she has close to her. And definitely could be somebody that's helping her, that's sort of like a little bit green-eyed, if you know what I mean. Nothing against us green-eyed people, but yeah, so moon and Scorpio there. And it's squaring the ninth house. So ninth house is the press. That's another thing that can come up. The paps. She is potentially, somebody who wants to keep things on the DL. And when you're constantly up there in the news, it just throws you off a little bit. You don't want to be out there. So, and that's a typical issue, but it'll especially be one probably for Princess Athena. Okay. Uh, Thank you, John. That is so nice of you. I think you liked my answer. Wow. Jen, I am too. I am too. And also a moon in Scorpio, but it depends on the year. It depends on the year how that works out for you. In all of your solar return years, your sun is always going to be in your natal house, but the planets can change. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're never going to be a Scorpio moon. You could be one in one of your solar return years, and you can see how we feel. Toy, love green eyes. Hubs and youngest daughter have green eyes. I see that as the sign of a visionary because green is Uranus. So, Jan, wonder if Charles is going to USA for treatment. Oh, now that would be a moon and Scorpio comment. Being told one thing and thinking a little deeper as to why we're being told that. Yes, green eyes are so rare and charming. I agree. Amber, you said the Queen of Cups is very emotional and intuitive. There may be an issue around the sisters as to who does what and being dissatisfied with too emotional and not fast enough. Yeah, because of that Saturn there. Inca, you've got green eyes. We need to have like a club that goes on cruises. I don't know any reason to be on a cruise right now. I posted this on Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram, you can go to Val Evans Astro, and I post things all the time. And this, I think I posted yesterday, the fifth house and how you like to have fun. So if you're like me, fifth house is in Pisces. So I love having fun in the pool, and you have great blue eyes. That's beautiful. Yeah, any reason for a cruise? I like cruises. Is she really Genevieve? I was wondering that. In her solar arc chart, Neptune has come in pretty strong with her. And I said this a couple months ago, I think, that usually you see someone who disappears. So you don't see it's like they appear and then they vanish, and often can show that somebody might be ill. Oh, that's right. The Aquarian in the house. And you also, of course, you have green eyes, Amber. And Chaz Sardi on UK banknotes and coins. Okay, John, you said, is Charles the end? I travel a lot in there, replacing the queen on the money with local people. Ooh, that's not a great omen. Interesting information, John. I don't think so. I don't think so, because you're always going to have a king. Now, what's really interesting is that in the Francis chart, you've got Leo, but you've got Uranus in Leo. And what were they always saying? They were always cutting off everybody's head in France. So it's a cut of the monarchy. And so that was it. Not to say that there won't be another king coming in. I think possibly. It's so much Leo for France. But right now, there was an interruption. What do you guys think? I know you're going to be like, no, there will never be another king in France. Now, it is definitely weak right now with England. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that it's the end. I think it'll keep going on. I think everybody's just fearful. And, the kingdom is just like we are personally. There are always going to be eras that we have where we're just super fearful of something. And so that's really what they're experiencing. The monarchs are experiencing right now. So hello, Valentina. Nice to see you. You have a king there. Yes, you are in Belgium. And I was, how I have the spare, it just pops up in my car because I don't know how to fix Audible, so it doesn't constantly come on. So I'm constantly listening to Prince Harry when I'm driving. And it occurred to me, like, there's some pretty obvious reasons why the monarchs did not like Prince Harry coming out and talking about certain things. But think about it. Monarchs are Scorpios. And so as soon as you bring something to light, that is a huge betrayal. And he was bringing things to light that I don't think people really I think a lot of people missed just little details that they didn't want out. And one of the details was that Prince Harry, if he were to go through all of the homes of Queen Elizabeth, he wouldn't have enough time in his life. There's just so many rooms, so many homes that you couldn't possibly get to all of them. And that was striking to me because, the kingdom, the kings, they don't want that out there. All it does is cause, middle class to say, well, there's something wrong with that. So he was letting go those details of this grandeur that I'm sure that the monarchists, they didn't like that at all. So quite a bit of hatred, but absolutely fascinating to hear all those details. Jan, you said royal families exist world, might the British royals be downgraded to a lesser status? Yeah, that's possible. They're going to have to sell some things. It's definitely shrinking. Absolutely. So, keeping in mind that, like I said yesterday, um, England is a twin. Basically, the US is a twin to England. I know that's arguable, but think about how many towns are named the same as in England. Same with Australia. So you've got a lot of Gemini going on. Even though these are huge countries, there's really not that much Gemini, but there is twinning cities, a lot of twins. So, you know, I think they're all kind of part of this big basically the fabric of the world, and we are seeing a king with the US. So, it might not be an official king title, but it's funny how different countries will still experience that type of quote unquote reign. His name Laurent. I did not know that. Got to start opening up a newspaper. Jan White, I've heard rumors that Prince William has teased the shrinking of working royals. Yeah. The crown is so wealthy, I know. Nobody's going to let go of their power. They're just going to have a strategy. Actually, Amber, can you pull that for John? John, what are you doing? Thank you so much. You told me you were going to come on today, and wow. But as far as your question, John, is King Charles the end? Let's ask that. Amber, do you have a card ready where you could tell us what you think? Is King Charles the absolute last monarch? There you go. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know, seriously. King or emperor for us in the US. Yeah, I mean, it's just so much wealth, so much power, uh, and trying to actually have power over the world too. Just wanting not only to bully, which is what a Leo does, but wanting to bully and get results from other countries who have also been accused of bullying. So Jan, you said fingers crossed. Jen, you would like to see this be the last monarch. Okay. I don't know. I think it's great for tourism. I mean, I guess we would have more access to some of the palaces, but we will see. Yes, Angel, we're live. Thanks for stopping in. Charles openly states that he wants one world power. Oh, you just woke up. All right. So Taurus Moon Tarot. We are asking if King Charles is the last monarch, and your answer is Six of Swords, moving away to new ways of thinking. Oof, with the 10 of Swords. Done. Okay, wait a minute. So the reality of the monarchy as we know it is kaput. Is that what you're getting? I know. Everyone wants to know who John Strong is. Yes. I should tell you he's my favorite client. I'm not into one world anything which aims to destroy cultures. Okay. So yeah, Jan's very pleased. Amber, you made Jan's day. I like some pomp and circumstance. So tell me how we can get that. Okay, done, yes, in the way it exists. I think what's going to happen is Prince William is already doing this very smart. He's going to sort of be the people's king, sort of like the California king in a weird way. Kind of, he wears his Vans or whatever they're wearing, his jeans, and he helps the people. So and he might deep down inside understand that that's what's needed in order for the monarchists to be saved. With the eventual death of Charles, will the truth about Diana's accident ever come out? I personally think so. I think so. And I've got something about Diana too when it comes to Princess Athena. So I'm going to show that. Amber, what do you think about that with the eventual death of Charles? Will the truth about Diana's accident ever come out? I say yes. Anybody else who has cards, please feel free. All right. So, yeah. So there's that T square there. Um, it looks like somebody's in there. Giving little Athena a hard time. This could mean some health issues in the beginning, trying to heal from something. That Black Moon Lilith can mean some type of disease, but because of the square with Mercury, it's like something small. It has to do with cells. It's something that I think she can get over. Okay. And so this is Princess Beatrice. This is mom's chart. And of course, her mom is an Aquarius rising. So we are going to look at, let's see, I'm going to look at Uranus. And let's see, Uranus is here. And so, yeah, she's got some issues here with the Cancers. She doesn't like the psychics, but this is her second child right here in the seventh house. Wow, that's a big seventh house. Good Lord, this is a complicated second child, but so interesting how two planets are in the seventh house. Four. This is Athena's house. So this is definitely a princess. She's a twin of some sort. She might look exactly like a former queen or a former princess. Maybe she's Diana's twin. Who knows? But it's going to be striking, it seems. It looks like there could be more blonde hair. Maybe at some point she will be blonde. But the reason I say it's so complicated is because the seventh house of the second child has 3 different signs in it. So this seems like a very, maybe a long life here. Maybe just a lot of different chapters. And let's see, the sun here, the sun is squaring Pluto, which is challenging. It's in the 8th house. So there's some chaos involved when it comes to the second daughter. Maybe initially, maybe there's just some concern on the health of the baby with so much in Leo that can be the heart. So they're probably monitoring the heart of the baby. The Princess Athena came in. She was supposed to be delivered in the spring, so she's quite early. Let's see. Now let's look at the siblings and if they get along. And we can see that in Princess Beatrice's chart. And that would be the sun, which would be Princess Athena. And we'd also look at the 5th house lord, which would be Mercury. And Mercury is right in here. Okay. Whoa. Yikes. Well, there are some good things. Looks like dad he's kind of like the referee. This is dad here. And he helps them. He helps them figure each other out. He helps their communication. But they are both very strong-willed. Whoa. And they could fight to the death. They could definitely fight to the death, or they're talking about it. They bully each other. Possibly bully each other, because why? When you have a square to Leo, and they do, this could be that they are joining forces against bullies, but most definitely have to endure some of that, just making fun of, a lot of making fun of things. So mocking, it's not particularly pleasant, as many of us know who are bullied. And okay, so okay, I'm going to get to Amber's answer in 1 second. And John, you were asking, will the eventual death of Charles, will the truth about Diana's accident ever come out, so we're gonna get to that in one second. Um No, Angel, you're tops. You've been with us from the beginning. The truth about Diana will never come out, in my opinion. Okay. Uh, let's see. William is money mad. He backs the woke policies and enforced meds advocated by Jacinda Ardern. Okay. Empress in reverse. No. Jen's here. Hope you're doing okay, Jen, and happy 2025. It's a good year for you. You're the snake. And let's see. Would real revelations about Princess Di bring down the royal family? Oh, actually, yes. I think that is a possible storyline. And oh, so Scorpio, which is, the definitely the revenge of the princess. Um, Jen, I feel like Athena gives Princess Margaret vibes. Yes, second oldest. Okay, here we go. Taurus Moon Tarot. Amber says 7 of Cups and another 10 of Swords. What a mess. Diana Mystery will remain buried with conspiracy and mistruth or distractions. Okay, so there's got to be something. Something's going to come out. She's going to make sure of it. But yeah, it's very possible that it will be deeply buried. But we know the truth. We astrologers, we know the truth. And it is evil. It's most definitely evil. By the way, we'll talk about that for a second. When you want to see evil in a chart, I believe it was Diana's solar return chart, you could see that Black Moon Lilith was hitting her rising sign and Charles. So they were both battling and had this evil energy that they were both basically manifesting. So it was, and she lost. I think they both lost, really. So, yeah. Val, I'm Aquarius, Scorpio rising. You're spot on as usual. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about John, I hope you guys don't mind. We're going to be on for 5 hours. Thank you, John. But yeah, the 7 of Cups says everything about distractions. Look over there. Yeah, okay, good to know. It's so funny with cards. It's like I got a handle on some of them, but 7 of Cups, I wouldn't have known that. Very interesting. Jan, 5 hours suit me. Get the tea. Amber, get the berries, the classic berries tea. All right, so now this is Princess Beatrice. This is interesting. These are her 2 daughters, and so nice to see that Princess Beatrice's husband will have a good relationship with them. That's really nice. And how about Uranus? Let's see where Uranus is. Oh, looks like Uranus. It looks like she will too. They both will have a very nice relationship. Sienna's another story here. Sienna's the 5th house. Woof. Sienna's going to be shocking. Oh my God. Look at that. And Sienna is also a twin because the 5th house is the first child for Princess Beatrice. Whoa. Okay, what's all that Cancer in there? This is something, she's going to do something shocking. Um, Okay, so Cancer is somebody who's extremely, extremely intuitive, and she might leave home early. She might leave the palace to a smaller palace, but it does, like Uranus opposing Cancer. This can show that there are shocks in the home and potentially maybe wanting independence. So that's difficult. But Mercury generally rules Princess Sienna. It's just a bunch of people in here. It looks like a famous woman in there. Who is that woman? It's an angry woman. Okay, let's. I know this is supposed to be about Athena, but hello, look at this T square here. And, there is somebody that Princess Sienna has to deal with. and it causes a trouble. It causes a trouble. So let's see what Mars represents. Mars is the second house of money. It is, resources. And it looks like something goes missing here. What is going missing? Uh, this is a very, very famous woman, and it might have to do with somebody who is maybe in the family. Now, this could still be Princess Diana. Who do you think that is? Amber, I'm interested to hear what you think, and as well as everyone else. Who do you think this famous woman is? Why is she famous? Well, uh, Venus is a woman, conjunct the moon, that's a famous woman. And look at Chiron there. This is a famous woman that hurt, who was hurt. And there's something up here. Maybe, and with an opposition to Neptune, can show someone who disappeared. So, yeah, I don't know why that would be affecting the firstborn for Princess Beatrice. But Amber, what do you think? Who is this famous woman in Princess Beatrice's fifth house? And okay, oh yeah, good one. Well done, Angel. Yes. Granny. Okay. But there's Mars in the middle here. Somebody who gets very angry about the fact that Princess Sienna is interested in this person. So it definitely is a man. Mars is a man. Could be Anne. Yep. Rose Bowes Lyon, I think, was the Queen's mother's older sister. I think her daughter was also Rose, and she was an explorer. Rose Stancer explored both poles, I think. And of course, her name is Lion, which would represent Leo. And in France, we have Lion. So, something to think about. All right. I got to look at this here. Mars in Aries. This is somebody maybe from the military. It is some man in the second house. This can be family business. Second house is family business sometimes. And this is a mystery. Neptune is a mystery and a scandal. So, there could be, she's uncovering something maybe. I don't know. The moon is to illuminate. So she's potentially, let's see, fifth house is Mercury in Leo here. She wants to go back into history. Look at that. Saturn is history, going back, returning to someplace. Now, keeping in mind, with Princess Beatrice there's a lot of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is college. This could be an issue here. It could simply be that Princess Sienna would prefer not to go to college, or the one that she wants her to go to. She wants to do her own thing. And, go let her. She's got to head towards Pluto for some reason. She's heading towards Pluto. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Oh my God. Look at this. This is definitely, I think this is Diana. Look at this. Pluto with the moon is beyond famous. The whole world knows who this woman is. And she was hurt. She was hurt in a car, Mars. But it's a mystery. So yeah, there definitely Princess Diana vibes in Princess Beatrice's chart with focus on her firstborn. So better watch out. Don't let her research too much because it can cause a problem. Now, tomorrow, I am going to go over some of the story about Princess Athena and the mythology of all of it. And we're going to do some cards. And I'll do that for members tomorrow. But now look at where Athena is up here. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to go over too tomorrow is I just showed you Mercury and I showed you Jupiter of Princess Athena, but we haven't gone over Venus, which is how old she's going to be or her symbol at 18 to 40. And then her symbol for over 40 is Saturn. So I'm going to show you what her life is going to be like over 18 tomorrow. But with with Athena, look at that. She is way up there at the top of the England chart. This is a very famous lady. Holy God. And look at how, oh my God. Uh, this is something that BD Salerno brought to my attention. She said, look at how, she texted me. She said, look at how it opposes Diana. And that's Athena. So, looking really deeply into the mystery, Neptune, the secret mystery of potentially a murder. It looks like she's going to find out some things that nobody knew about. These are secrets. Neptune is secret. And this is going to cause a problem. So she better mind her P's and Q's. Okay. Stay away from Diana. But it's hard to say that to anybody because this is your code. This is your plan. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And so there's Athena at the top of the chart for England. I think it's 1801 chart. Now, the chart ruler is Venus down here, Venus in Aquarius. Funny how that would be for England. And so for anyone, for especially females with Venus there, anybody who loves engineering, things that are futuristic, they are going to like living in England because there's a really nice aspect here for those who are more Aquarian related. Look at Amber. Amber, you probably pack up right now. So, okay. Now you said, which one was this for? Empress, Death card, and the Lovers. Twins, a similar twin death. Which one was that for? I can't remember. Yeah, twins again. Oh, and didn't you think it was weird yesterday how we never plan our outfits, but Amber and I both had black and white on, and we were laughing right before we went live. We were like, here we go. We're twinning again. So I know I did too. I really thought Beatrice could or would have twins. Oh, I don't know. I think you were right on because I think she's going to be a twin. Good one. Diana is the goddess of war. And I believe that would be Athena too. So they're all in the same camp there. Okay. Jan, you said, oh no, not twin death. Diana, wife, if a prince, who's the other prince's wife? Didn't think about that. Okay, so you said last card in the pull is a chariot, a car. I look for a car accident in the charts. Okay. Yeah. Not another car accident in Paris. Paris being, of course, Leo. So, my God. So let's see here. So keeping in mind, this is England's chart. And we're going to look at some things that show something exciting for Athena. The fact that it's in the 10th house, everybody's going to see her. She's very, very famous. She will be extremely famous. And there's a sextile to Mars. So she's probably going to be an activist. This could have something to do with Taurus, which could be maybe a food activist. And with the trine to Neptune, she could be a doctor. So very possible that she has got quite a bright future if she can move past this little period here. I would say a couple of years where she's healing from maybe coming out too soon. That's Aquarius, they're fast. They're like, okay, I don't want to incubate. Let's get this thing going. And so she comes out much faster than would be expected, which, would be Uranian. Let's see here. Well, the other thing too, we talked about accidents. Yes, there could be some accident prone types of things because we've got Athena, we've got Diana with the sun here and this. So at the very least, there's an interest with this accident and she needs to stay away from that because, nobody wants anybody meddling in that. Let's see here. So that's pretty much all I had for that. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to go over Venus and I'm also going to go over Saturn. So this would be her at 18 and over, Saturn 50 and over. Keeping in mind that Queen Elizabeth had her Saturn in the 10th house. So she had a long career. I mean, it started very young. You wouldn't normally start working that early, but became a princess very, very young, or got her assignment when she was very young, and then until she died. So, we'll talk about that tomorrow. And it'll be very interesting to see about this twin. We could talk real quick, though, about her husband. Jupiter retrograde, he might be Italian, might be like daddy. In the 12th house, could be a foreign guy. And trining, um, trining a couple of things. Very bright man, very bright man. Um, with the 12th house, she could have her pick of several different husbands. Let's just put it that way. So, if she she gets tired, she'll toss them to the side, and then there'll be another one that pops up, and they'll all kind of look alike, I think, because of that Gemini. But of course, it would be her choosing. So, yes, the Chariot. Repeating the same messages, clues, allegedly. Yep. Princess Grace. I know. Chariot and the Queen of Pentacles, both in reversed. Okay. Wow. So we got the Chariot. The Chariot is pretty big here. But she is a visionary. She can see the future. So if there's any harm coming in her way, she'll be able to tell before anybody else. She's got incredible intuition. And, she's got a lot of support from dad and mom. So that's really good. So does Princess Sienna. John, these are such good questions. I don't know if this makes sense, but does Prince William's and Harry's chart show a different father? What do you think, Amber? Do you want to pull a card for that? Do they have a different father? I was convinced for a little while that they did, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it would have been pulled out by now. They would have pulled a piece of hair from his brush, and that would have been that, and basically exiled. But maybe not. Maybe they didn't want that type of a scandal. But he does look a little bit like, what's his name? Jan. Come on, Amber, pull the card. Toy. I hope she's still with us and not taking a break. But yeah, that is such a good question and the question is, do Prince William and Prince Harry share the same father? I think they do. Hewitt, that's right, Hewitt. A nice looking, come on, the lover's card. Yeah, just a lover, right? Just a lover, but not a father. I think we're going to need a clarification on that one. Harry looks like the Spencers. Yeah. With the eyes close together, that's Charles. I think. I don't think Princess Diana would have done that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. We'll have to look at that, though. That it's a question everybody wants to know about. So maybe that'll come up on Friday. And if you're just joining me, we do a show every Friday, 4:30 Eastern and 4:30 p.m. and 9:30 BST. So definitely join us and the group. And I'll have some shows coming up this week, including one tomorrow where we're going to look at the second part of Princess Athena's life. So I hope you guys can join me. It's for the members. And yeah, Harry's got Charles's mannerism, although he did grow up with him. But yeah, in Spare, he talks about how, he was living with Charles and Camilla, and that had to be, that's got to be a mind scrambler as you're growing up, to be living with the person that your mother hated. Can you imagine? I know. Yeah, the red hair. Okay. Queen of Cups in reverse is your Camilla card. Okay. Hmm. All right. So there you have it. We answered a few questions. We profiled Princess Athena a little bit. And thank you so much, Angel. So nice of you. And Toy, so glad we could get you to join us. Now I just need to see where Shauna is. And Buckeye, thank you for joining us. Cassie, nice to see you. Welcome. Elphaz. And had a bunch today. Jen, of course, Jan, and so many more. Thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow.